All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about a career strategy that could honestly be a total game changer for you, the niche skill advantage.
Do you ever feel like you're just a replaceable cog in the machine? I mean, in a world of automation and global competition, that feeling is super common, right? Your skills can start to feel like a commodity. But what if I told you there's a way to sidestep that risk entirely?
Okay, so this really lays out the core issue. We're seeing this massive shift happening in the job market. On one side, you've got these generalist skills, and yeah, they're becoming more and more commoditized. Their value is dropping. But on the other side, niche skills. They're becoming way more secure and incredibly valuable. This is the new landscape we all have to figure out.
So before we can talk about the solution, we've got to really understand the problem. And it's a big one, something we could call the age of sameness. I mean, just think about it for a second. When everyone has similar, broad skills, it just becomes a race to the bottom on price, right? But in today's economy, which is all about innovation, that's not what gets rewarded. So in this environment, becoming a specialist isn't just a smart career move. It is literally your superpower.
So, what's the antidote to all this sameness? Well, it's a strategy that completely flips the script. It's the niche skill solution.
So what is a niche skill, really? I mean, it's more than just being good at something. It's about having this laser-focused competency in a super specialized area. Think of it like precision expertise that's incredibly hard for anyone else to replicate.
And I absolutely love this idea right here. The quote says, "These skills protect individuals from commoditization by establishing identity through uniqueness." In other words, a niche skill is your shield. It's what makes you unique, and that's what makes you valuable. You become known for that one thing you do better than pretty much anyone else.
Okay, so how do you actually build a skill that's truly niche? Well, it turns out there's kind of a formula. So let's break down the anatomy of what makes a niche so powerful.
The foundation, the absolute bedrock of any true niche skill, it all comes down to one simple, powerful word: scarcity.
But scarcity isn't just one thing, right? It actually breaks down into 4 key parts. It could be low supply, like a specialist in some old school coding language that very few people learn anymore. It could be rare. Maybe you're a financial analyst who also has a deep background in sustainable agriculture. That's an uncommon combo. It might be obscure, knowledge that you just can't find in mainstream courses. Or it could even be proprietary, your own unique method, your secret sauce that nobody else has.
But here's the thing. Just being scarce isn't enough on its own. The second crucial ingredient is depth. This is what separates a gimmick from real, sustainable value. And this is how you build that depth. It starts with deep expertise. We're talking total immersion in a very specific subfield. From there, you're aiming for mastery, the absolute highest standard of performance you can imagine. And finally, you treat your work as a craft, this disciplined, almost artisanal pursuit of excellence.
So when you combine that scarcity and that depth, what happens? You unlock this massive career advantage. It's time to look at the payoff, the specialist's advantage.
And this pathway shows exactly how that value gets created. See, it starts when your skill becomes a key differentiator that just sets you apart from the crowd. Because you're different, you then become irreplaceable. And that irreplaceability, well, it naturally leads to real job security. And when you're secure and valued, you're empowered to deliver truly high-value work and make a real impact. At the end of the day, it really just comes down to simple economics. When the supply of a particular skill is incredibly low, but the demand for it is high, what happens? Its value just skyrockets. This isn't just some business school principle. It's a really powerful way to think about your own career.
And here's the ultimate outcome. That whole supply and demand imbalance, it completely flips the power dynamic. The leverage shifts away from the employer, and it lands squarely in your hands. And that means you get more agency, more influence, and some serious bargaining power.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually apply it? This final section is all about turning that insight into action and helping you find your unique zone.
The ultimate goal here is to find your personal zone of expertise. Think of it as that perfect sweet spot where you're not just good, your performance is reliably, consistently superior. It's that area where you feel the most confident and the most effective. And when you reach the absolute pinnacle of your zone of expertise, there's this fantastic term for it: wizardry.
It's when your skill is so advanced, so intuitive, that to an outsider, what you do looks like pure magic. Think of a master negotiator who can just read a room instantly. That's the level of mastery we should all be aiming for.
So I'm going to leave you with the one question that really matters most. Forget your job title for a minute and just ask yourself this. Based on your unique mix of skills, your experiences, your passions, what is the specific, valuable problem that only you can solve? Because the answer to that question, well, that's the key to finding your niche.